खलीफा के हम हैं खलीफा हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा, हमारा हमारा खलीफा हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा.
Assalamu alaikum et bienvenue à l'émission Cette semaine avec le Calife. Le week-end dernier, sa sainteté le Calife qu'Allah soit son soutien a assisté à l'Ijtima national de la Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya et de la Majlis Atfalul Ahmadiyya du Royaume-Uni. Nous avons l'honneur de vous présenter les points forts du discours de clôture du Calife. L'Ijtima national de la Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya du Royaume-Uni, tenu à Old Park Farm et Kingsley à Alton, s'est terminé par le discours de clôture de sa sainteté le 5e calife, qu'Allah soit son soutien. C'était la première fois que l'Ijtima se tenait sur 3 jours depuis la pandémie. Suite aux instructions de sa sainteté le calife, certaines des activités de l'Ijtima ont été réduites suite au décès de sa majesté la reine Elisabeth II, comme mentionné par sa sainteté le calife lors de son discours de clôture.
Originally, Khuddamul Ahmadiyya had included a full sports programs in the Ijtima program. However, upon the sad demise of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, I instructed Sadr Sahib that the sports and games be scaled back as a mark of respect. I deemed it essential because the Queen was our long-serving head of state, and she led the nation with great dignity and justice for over 70 years. During her reign, the United Kingdom remained a beacon of religious freedom in the world. Indeed, the Queen herself advocated for true religious freedom and interfaith harmony on many occasions. Thus, we are grateful to have lived under such a gracious monarch. As Ahmadi Muslims, we should be particularly appreciative of the fact that we were given the opportunity to establish our Jamaat's international headquarters after the migration of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, Rahimahullah Ta'ala, in the United Kingdom during the reign of Queen Elizabeth, and have been able to practice and propagate our religion, Islam, freely. In this regard, we will always be grateful to Queen Elizabeth, the British government, and this nation. Furthermore, we pray that our new head of state, King Charles III, continues to ensure that religious freedom and justice for all people remains a hallmark of this nation, and that the rights of the people are always fulfilled.
Conformément aux instructions du calife, l'Ijtima inclut une exposition sur la vie de la reine et les drapeaux de la nation ont été mis en berne.
Actually, it's quite a sad and somber occasion this year, sadly following the demise of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
She was the mother of the nation. She has served the country for 70 years, more than 70 years. And it's a really sad news that in my heart.
Ijtima obviously had been pre-planned for a very, very long time, but unfortunately we heard the sad news of the Queen's passing on Thursday evening, which was a very sad news for us. Our Khalifa shared his thoughts and his prayers for the Queen, which we all share, as Ahmadi Muslims share as well. We are mourning our Queen, and the fact that our celebration of the Ijtima, which is generally an event of celebration, needs to take that into consideration as well. So one thing that I've noticed is that the flags that have been hoisted to half-mast. In the same way, I've seen a very interesting exhibition that they've set up in memory of the Queen as well, and our prayers go out for her and her family.
Une vidéo sur les moments forts de l'Ijtima a été diffusée lors de la dernière session.
कदम दोस्तों آگے بڑھتے رہو دم بدم دوستو آگے بڑھتے رہو دم بدم دوستو نا خدا گر خدا کو بناتے رہے ساحلوں پہ سفینہ بھی آ جائے گا اس کے حکموں پہ سر جو جھکاتے رہے زندگی کا کرینہ بھی آ جائے گا ساتھ وہ ہے تو پھر کیسا غم دوستو آگے بڑھتے رہو دم بدم دوستو دیکھو رکنے نہ پائے قدم دوستو دیکھو رکنے نہ پائے قدم دوستو آگے بڑھتے رہو دم بدم دوستو جو خلافت کے دامن کو تھامے رہے رحمتوں کی قبائیں بھی پا جائیں گے اس کی رسی کو مضبوط پکڑیں گے جو نصرتوں کی ردائیں بھی پا جائیں گے دیکھ لیں گے یہ اہل ستم دوستو آگے بڑھتے رہو دم بدم دوستو آگے بڑھتے رہو دم بدم دوستو دیکھو رکنے نہ پائے قدم دوستو دیکھو رکنے نہ پائے قدم دوستو آگے بڑھتے رہو دم بدم دوستو.
Durant la session de clôture, Sa Sainteté le Calife a récompensé les meilleurs qiyadat Atfal et Khuddam en leur confiant le drapeau de la Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya.
Beloved Huzoor has approved the following Al-Maynami winners for Atfalul Ahmadiyya and Khuddamul Ahmadiyya for the year 2020 to 2021. Al-Maynami winner for Atfalul Ahmadiyya is Wimbledon Park Qiyadat.
La remise de l'Al-Maynami a eu lieu la première fois en 1939 en présence du deuxième calife. Le drapeau a pour vocation de rappeler au Majlis ses responsabilités.
Barakallahu lakum. Al-Maynami winner Khuddamul Ahmadiyya is Milton Keynes Qiyadat.
Après la remise de l'Al-Maynami, le calife a prononcé le discours de clôture durant lequel il a évoqué les responsabilités de la Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya.
Today, in this concluding session, I wish to mention some of the fundamental responsibilities and obligations of members of Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya. Above all, you must never forget that the true purpose for which Allah the Almighty created human was for His worship. And in this regard, the primary form of worship are the 5 daily prayers, that is salat or namaz. Anyone who calls themselves a Muslim must pay great attention to ensuring that they protect and guard their worship, which requires them to be regular and punctual in offering namaz with utmost sincerity. The reason Allah the Almighty has made namaz obligatory is because a person cannot remain spiritually alive without it. In other words, salat is indispensable, and person's faith and spirituality cannot survive without it. With the grace of Allah, many young Ahmadis are very diligent in offering namaz and have developed a personal connection with Allah the Almighty. I have observed such a spirit within many young Ahmadis. I have met, or it has become apparent through their letters to me. Yet there is no room for complacency regarding the worship of Allah the Almighty. We must never let our standards slide. We must continuously seek to improve and strengthen our connection with our Creator. Just as our physical bodies require food and air, in the same way, our souls need continuous spiritual nourishment. It is a great favor of Allah the Almighty that He has blessed our Jamaat with many sincere people of all ages, ever ready for any duty, assistance, or sacrifice. Whenever called upon, they immediately respond by saying, "We are here and ready," labbaik, and present themselves for whatever service or sacrifice is required for their faith. For example, just recently, thousands of Ahmadis, men, women, and children presented themselves for duty at the UK Jalsa and set aside their everyday work and routine for the sake of the Jamaat. And to some extent, the same happened during the preparation of this Ijtima. Many did not sleep properly for days or even weeks, but never once did they neglect their duties or express any sense of frustration or fatigue. Similarly, when it comes to financial sacrifice in the way of Allah, there are countless Ahmadis worldwide who contribute wholeheartedly whenever any scheme is launched and make great sacrifices in order to play their role in the propagation of Islam. At the same time, it is virtually important to remember that it is not enough to offer temporary sacrifices or to live righteous lives for just a few days. Rather, Allah the Almighty desires for a permanent state of righteousness amongst His people, and as I have already outlined, fundamental to achieving this state is namaz. In this regard, Allah the Almighty states in the Holy Quran, "Aqimis salat, inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar, wala zikrullahi akbar." Observe prayers. Surely prayer restrains one from indecency and manifest evil. And remembrance of Allah indeed is the greatest virtue. In this era, a multitude of vices are prevalent in society. Sinful temptations lie at every turn and every corner, seeking to corrupt and destroy the fabric of society. In particular, one major vice that I wish to warn all of you about is falsehood. Falsehood is evident at all levels of society, to the extent that many people, in order to fulfill their worldly desires or interests, lie without thinking and consider their untruths to be very insignificant. Yet, Allah the Almighty and the Holy Prophet of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam have deemed falsehood to be a sin of immense gravity and harmful to both the individual and the wider society. Another point I wish to make, especially to the younger Khuddam and Atfal who are still in school or education. is that they must be careful who they keep company with. At your age, your friends and those who you spend time with can easily influence you. As has been observed, if you keep poor company, you will pick up bad habits, such as lying, needlessly quarreling, or even fighting, instead of acting truthfully and being kind and considerate. Thus, the younger Khuddam and Atfal must be very conscious of their company. Make friendships with people who are sincere, who are honest, and who are not involved in any immoral or senseless activities. Furthermore, as you get older and gain more independence, do not let your guard down. Remain firm in your faith and ensure that you never fight or be abusive to others, and do not use vulgar language or speak in a way that provokes others. The older Khuddam must also pay heed to all of these points. Otherwise, despite having accepted the promised Messiah Islam and claiming to follow his teachings, you will be violating what he stood for and taught. Accordingly, today it is the duty of Ahmadi youth to lead a campaign and movement against all forms of falsehood and deception, and they must personally lead by example. Every Khadim and Tifl should pledge that they will never tell a lie, because falsehood is equivalent to shirk, associating partner with Allah the Almighty. On the one hand, we proudly say, we are the community and people of Allah the Almighty, and bow down sincerely before Him. Yet, at the same time, there are some amongst us who continue to rely upon falsehood to achieve their means and desires. Let it be clear that those who rely on falsehood should not accept the help of Allah, as He will not accept their supplications. As I said, the time is now for every Khadim and every Tifl to pledge that they shall never utter any falsehood. The time is now for you to lead a movement to uphold the truth and become those who worship Allah in the best way and whose moral standards are of the highest order. If our youth can reject all forms of falsehood and remain forever truthful, then all other good morals will automatically be instilled within them. I also wish to say to the younger Khuddam who have just taken their first step into Khuddamul Ahmadiyya that they should not think theirs is an age of mere recreation or fun. You have also reached an age where your thought processes and conduct should be maturing daily. For quite some time, I have been mentioning the early history of Islam in my Friday sermons, during which I have narrated the incidents of many young boys from that era. No older than you, who were able to offer extraordinary sacrifices for the sake of Islam and achieved great successes. This was all because they understood their purpose and the challenge that lay before them. They understood that it was up to them to fulfill the purpose of their life through the worship of Allah, and it was up to them to manifest the highest of morals at all times. They understood their value and worth as young Muslims. They understood the purpose of their creation, and this ensured they played an outstanding role in transforming a society defined by immorality and ignorance into a pure and righteous community, the like of which the world had never seen before, and one that will forever serve as a beacon for all mankind. As I said, Islam's early history bears witness to the fact that young teenagers were those who accomplished truly monumental and magnificent achievements. So never underestimate yourselves or think you are too young to bring about a spiritual and moral revolution, change in society. Whether you are 15, 20, 30 or 40 or of any other age, grasp every opportunity to serve Islam as though it is your last. Without any shadow of a doubt, every khadam, according to their age, knowledge and experience, can serve the cause of Islam and the mission of the Prophet Messiah so long as they fulfill the rights of Allah's worship and fulfill the rights of His creation and be those who never forsake the truth and who fulfill their promises and pledges. May Allah the Almighty grant you all the ability to do so. May Allah the Almighty enable all of you to be shining stars of Ahmadiyyat and be those who come to fulfill the true purpose of their creation. May Allah continue to bless Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya in every respect. Ameen. Now join me in silent prayer.
Après la prière silencieuse, le calife a lancé le livre Mashalira et l'application mobile Salat Hub.
The Ishar department of Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya United Kingdom was given the blessed opportunity to translate and publish the first half of Mashalira, Volume 1. The book covers the initial years of Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya from the very first address at the inception of Khuddamul Ahmadiyya in 1938, delivered by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, Radhiyallahu anhu. This English translation comprises of 26 addresses and 12 poems in total. I have named this collection Beacon for the Youth in English. May Allah enable this to become a beneficial source of material for the talim and tarbiyat of our youth. Ameen. And there is an announcement about Salat Hub mobile application. Majlis Atfalul Ahmadiyya UK has made the Salat Hub mobile application. The Salat Hub website was launched last year, and now the mobile application introduces new ways to help learn namaz and its translation. There are interesting activities in the app that user can save their progress and unlock new levels of Salat learning as they progress. Children can attain badges as well. All the badges are based upon Arabic words mentioned in the Holy Quran with the brief explanation of each word. Jamaat members of all ages can use the app. It is currently available on iOS app store and will be available soon for Android, inshallah. May Allah enable this to become a beneficial source of learning and improving the understanding of namaz. Ameen. So people in Khuddam and Atfal should benefit from this app. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Ya Rabbi salli ala nabiyyika daiman fi hazihi dunya wa ba'sil sani.
Avant de partir, le calife a officiellement lancé le livre Mashalira et l'application Salat Hub. C'était là les points forts du discours de clôture prononcé par le calife le week-end dernier. Nous terminons maintenant par le résumé du sermon du vendredi. Dans son dernier sermon du vendredi, le calife a continué sa série de sermons sur le calife Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu. Ça s'intitule le calife qu'Allah soit son soutien a mentionné plusieurs œuvres que le calife Abu Bakr a été le premier à accomplir.
حضرت ابو بکر صدیق سب سے پہلے اسلام لائے. دوسرے یہ کہ مکے میں آپ کے اپنے گھر کے سامنے سب سے پہلے مسجد بنائی. پھر تیسرا یہ ہے کہ مکے میں رسول اکرم صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کی حمایت میں سب سے پہلے قریش مکہ سے قتال کیا. چوتھا یہ کہ سب سے پہلے متعدد غلاموں اور باندیوں کو جو اسلام لانے کی پاداش میں ظلم و ستم کا شکار تھے خرید کر آزاد کیا. پانچواں یہ سب سے پہلے قرآن کریم کو ایک جلد میں جمع کیا. چھٹا یہ سب سے پہلے انہوں نے قرآن کا نام مصحف رکھا. ساتواں یہ کہ سب سے پہلے خلیفہ راشد قرار پائے. آٹھواں یہ کہ رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کی زندگی میں سب سے پہلے امیر الحج مقرر ہوئے. نواں یہ کہ رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کی زندگی میں سب سے پہلے نماز میں مسلمانوں کی امامت کی. دسواں یہ کہ اسلام میں سب سے پہلے بیت المال قائم کیا. 11 یہ کہ اسلام میں سب سے پہلے خلیفہ ہیں جن کا مسلمانوں نے وظیفہ مقرر کیا. 12واں یہ کہ سب سے پہلے خلیفہ جنہوں نے اپنا جانشین نامزد کیا. حضرت ابو عمر کو آپ نے نامزد فرمایا تھا. 13واں یہ کہ وہ پہلے خلیفہ ہیں جن کی بیعت خلافت کے وقت ان کے والد حضرت ابو قحافہ زندہ تھے. 14واں یہ ہے کہ وہ سب سے پہلے شخص جنہیں اسلام میں کوئی لقب رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے عطا فرمایا. 15واں یہ کہ سب سے پہلے شخص جن کی 4 پشتوں کو شرف صحابیت حاصل ہے ان کے والد صحابی حضرت ابو قحافہ، حضرت ابو بکر خود صحابی، ان کے بیٹے حضرت عبد الرحمن بن ابو بکر اور ان کے پوتے حضرت محمد بن عبد الرحمن بن ابو بکر، یہ سب صحابہ تھے.